Alright guys, so I received a message from our 1111 gateway as soon as the reading was done. And it was incredible. It was so incredible, I know it needs to be here today. We're going to do this in 2 parts. We're going to do the first part, the message that was left, and then we're going to have our full moon in Taurus reading and discuss a couple of things that are happening, because this is a really pivotal. Thanks. That's how I know my right and left brain are connected, when I start saying a word and then I create a new one. Pivotal time. Pivotal. Guys, my biscuit boo got a haircut and hates his life right now. He's very disliking things. That's because we live in the Great White North and it's freezing cold right now, and he got a haircut, but it needed to be done. We're just going to recap. Gnosis, and we know this is the energy of the unknown. The mystic. And it's connected to the bridge over troubled water. This is raising vibration to, as we cross from the dark ages to begin creating the golden ages. And this is in the empty room. That's where this is happening. This is the void, the chrysalis. And a lot of us, we hate being empty. We don't like that feeling, right? That's why we're always looking to those devil energies to fill ourselves up. Because we feel empty, we get fear within us. But this emptiness is part of our transformation. And this emptiness allows us more possibilities. More possibilities to connect to the light and to connect to our abundance and connection to love, to the unseparateness, because that's where we are ending. And we are ending that energy of the orphan. And this is, we are all living as orphans, separate. And we're ending separateness. We're transforming to end separateness. The things that happen in our world, you know, this card speaks about children getting ripped away from their parents. A lot of the things that happen here, we're transforming from that energy, from those social structures. A child should not have to be separated from their mother to be a refugee. And we shouldn't have to live in separation and then have to feel empty to stay caught within the devil energies. That time is no more. That ends with the darkness. When we start building with our light. This is now the card, and you can see it's on the bottom of the deck left over at the 1111 reading, and then I just started looking through and I have not mixed up the order. We have the river, and it's in a very specific order. We've been given 8 cards. With the riddle, and the riddle is connected to gnosis. We know that we are finding our unanswerable questions. We are answering them within the gnosis, within the unknown. And then we understand the gift of that space, and we understand the sacredness of it, and we protect it, thus protecting ourselves and our light. This, after the riddle, connects to the energy of the shaman. And then we have the box. So we shift from the empty room to the box. And after that, we have the one. The eternal child. Thanatos. And the Starborn. That is our messages. So we have a total of 8 cards. And it all leads back to the crow. The crone. Sorry guys, my son is here and he's all over the place and he's thrown off my channeling. He's looking for something so that he can go with his uncle. Now, these cards in this specific order definitely have a meaning. And I would really like to just explain them all, but I don't think that it would do the message justice. I feel as though the only way to do this is I would like to read the messages of these 8 cards and discuss it, and that's why I'm splitting things up. But this is very important. And, you know, I know that a lot of the times we just want that quick fix. We want things to be fast. But there are times where we have to really slow down and spend the time to gain the information if we want to move to the next level. And that's the time we're at. I do not want to rush where we're at right now for a specific reason, because we must slow down and show that to the universe. And no, I don't think we should always have, you know, hour-long readings here. I get that you guys have places to go, which is why I'm trying to break things up. But we have to learn how to slow down, and that's how that high priestess energy, and get the information we need and not have that quick fix. Okay, now on to the next thing, because that's, excuse me, that's not the times we're in. That's not what this is about. The river, the stream, the flow, the current. There is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we plan to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before. With a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity, keep in mind that the you that stands within the river is the real you. Full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to drudge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. Acceptance, grace, reflection, and forgiveness. The river is emotion. When you are in its current, you will know it by the bursting forth of tears, laughter, song, despair. All the emotions flow in its current. We're in the flow now. You can only resist the river for so long. Eventually, it will pull you toward change, so you may as well get in with style and grace. And when I first looked at this card, I really thought it went this way, but it doesn't. Because the river is reflecting this energy of forward movement, and this energy is connected to this dark horse, which is connected to the moon. But we're creating with the sun energy that's connected to our solar plexus. And this is chakra healing. This is what we're doing here. We're doing chakra healing. We're getting our chakras in flow. You can see the colors. You can see the colors. We start at the root. We're going to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, to the crown, and we transform. And right here, we are doing that process. But because we have to free our emotions to be in the flow. Our emotions are part of our manifestations as well as our purification process. That's why the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups is really a big deal. If we want to create our 10 of Cups, we have to create flow. And that's understanding everything is an experience to create with. It's how we heal from what has happened, with what has caused us pain, traumatized us within our life, which even is holding us back within our subconscious, which is why we do work with our inner child, because the first 7 years of our life are imprinted within our being. That is our subconscious mind. That's Inner child healing is really the key to so many things, so much freedom. The riddle, the puzzle, the question, the mystery. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found and ultimately is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical. From logic to mythic, you are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom of Zen Quan. Focusing harder won't do it, neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing it may in fact be the only reality there is. You gotta get used to that creation energy from the void so that we can really start manifesting. Who am I? The only way to work with a riddle successfully is not to work. No, it's not. It's to get lost in decoding it like Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys. Ponder these koans. The coin that's lost in the river is found in the river. If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha. I have a lot feeling this is a lot to do with the death of old self and the birth of new. This is where things really start to change. The shaman, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. This is also connected to the magician. 3 archetypical ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. We know all about diligence around here from our last reading. The mentor, second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self. The other, and the culture, the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. A fearless student and practitioner. Contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians, poets are just a few faces a shaman may wear. The shaman cannot be rushed. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Think of it like brining, guys, or marinating. The content must permeate every fiber of its being. Well, that says a lot. We gotta sit in our darkness. We gotta permeate in that. We gotta learn from that. But this is the thing, we gotta learn from that. And that's really that, the caterpillar going into the chrysalis and becoming that soup-like consistency and forming the beautiful blue butterfly. That's really a big, deep transformation. And we know this is connected to Scorpio. And this is why I like these cards. They're very uniquely done. This book is very uniquely done. This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes Guidebook. And I'm really enjoying this. We all live to some degree within the confines of the box. It's the cage, the rules, the norm. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in a place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. This box is sneaky and insidious and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious level. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to just stay small. There is a box around you now made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going, break through. An exquisite life requires it. And that's like like how it said, like when we heal, we're like layers of an onion. We're gonna peel the layers off of ourselves, right? To go to the next layer, to go to the next layer, and that's really the energy that's in the High Priestess. Structure, order, coherence, logic, and that's that saying. We cut ourselves free from the box. We free ourselves, right? Everything within the box is known. Everything outside the box is unknown. That is why it's more comfortable to stay within the walls. But we must choose freedom. And look, that's why we're going within the unknown. We're knowing thy darkness. We're really transforming here. We're pulling together many things here to create with our divine wisdom. And now we're going to remove ourselves from the box with our light. But that's why we needed to go within the unknown, to connect the dots, to answer the questions that were unanswerable. The one. Non-duality, one love, unus mundus. Our ability to experience this archetype firsthand is limited. It comes in brief and potent moments that we are left to savor for a lifetime. The one is both the energy that unites all living beings and our capacity to sense this intimate union. This archetype eludes us most of our lives, appearing as a concept in a distant galaxy. Yet when we are in the midst of its power and solemn reverence falls across all the land, we glimpse ourselves in the vastness of all consciousness and are neither small nor large. We are neither important nor unimportant. All duality fades away and we are left with what is, the precious knowing that life is a gift and we are both the giver and the receiver of this fortune. Wow, we're in flow. We're lit with the light. We're understanding things around here. This is beautiful. Now we know what we're doing. We're coming back to oneness. We're coming back to love. We are ending this space here within the orphan, the disconnect, the lonely child within, because now we're going to the eternal child. The eternal child, the inner child, the child of joy. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and the sky. We all want a sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. And this is another reason why many of us fall into the devil energies, because we feel restrained. We don't feel free. That inner child needs freedom. That inner child needs to be heard and allowed action from within. And the inner child is part of us. we're ending the disconnect. And first of all, we're going to do it within. And then we create it without. Because that's where we end duality. And you know, guys, I wish that a camera could just be following me around at all times, so you guys could see how all this stuff magically unfolds within my life. And that's how I believe it so deeply. And I'm so passionate about it. You know, these cards just walk into my life at the exact right time. And this is how part of my gift works. That I get messages from the cards. I'll be walking over to my tarot card table, and all of a sudden, you know, I have many cards. Something will fall over, and there's like this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't put my cards away, but I see why. Or I have cards in my room, and I'm working on a project, and then I do something silly, and I'm upset with myself because all my cards fall over. But then I realized at that moment in time, no, I needed to see this message because I needed to share it here. And that's why I always, you know, take the time to go a little bit deeper into things, because that's where the best messages are. And now we're really going to come full circle to that Scorpio new moon that I have been feeling so connected to since it happened. This is the energy. Thanatos, death. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation. But the true archetypical resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed, and as it sweeps under... Guys, sorry, gonna get emotional. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced being initiated can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies the initiation into the underworld. Grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Facing death leads us to truth. And this is straight up truth. This is why I get so passionate. You know, I watched my father pass away. It forever changed my existence. It's been part of my path. It is part of my path. It showed me my mortality within that second. It showed me watching him looking out the window because he was in a hospice, what he said to me, and watching the things that he wanted to do. I understand what a gift it is. We have to ground it now. We have to do it now. These are things that I have understood. I won't wait for tomorrow for many things because I understand I matter now. And that's all thanks to my father. And we have, you know, many of us are seeing our own mortality in order to help us become shapeshifters at a whole new level. We're really understanding life. And that's the gift of this energy. And it's also too, we have to stop fearing our mortality. And for many of us, that creates more sickness because we're always constantly thinking that we're going to get hurt, injured, or sick. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves and use self-care, and then let go of that lower vibrational energy of thinking, you know, we're always going to get sick or hurt. We have to learn how to connect to our spiritualism and listen to the energies of the unknown. Clear our chakras. But this is all leading us somewhere, and I just want to say, that's that spider web that we are creating. The pieces of the light that we become part of us within the dark, forever etched into our soul, and we are creating our own web. And this now is through death and transformation, and now we are the Starborn. We are the Starborn. the divine child, the star child, the destined, an elusive yet radiant aspect of the self. The starborn archetype points to the cosmic spark of light that arrives with each being at birth, the moment the newborn crowns. Whether vaginally or surgically, the royal stars above are said to constellate in a unique shape that maps our path in the world. The idea of destiny is controversial, yet the starborn naturally feels a sense of destination and purpose, aiming itself toward a future that is beyond the mundane. When this card appears, travel back to your birth story for clues and insight. What did you desire when you were young? Practice seeing your life from a mythic point of view rather than a series of logistics. Read the story of the three fates and envision yourself born under the stars with a unique destiny. Well, hello. We're grounding our starseed energy. We're grounding our cosmic energy, the connection that we have there. And this is about studying our birth chart, our natal chart. This is our connection to the heavens when we were born. And this is knowing thyself at a deeper level. This is definitely connected to our 1111 gateway reading. Like, there are just so many. This is such a beautiful gift. Have your chart read. Study your constellated shape. Ask questions. What does the process conjure in you? Faith or mistrust? What would happen if you saw the galaxy as your ally? And that's why you have to believe. You can't be sitting there, oh, it's this hokey pokey. But you have to believe. And the people that believe, man, they're trailblazers. They're trailblazers in what's grounding the light and building the golden ages so we can usher them in. And, you know, I got to keep doing my healing. I got to make it to 2050. It's the official date. So we have to start building it now. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to just turn on the lights at 2050. We got to start building it. We got to the death of the dark ages and the birth of the golden. And we know death and rebirth, it's a little messy, and that's going to be the times we're in. So we really got to keep healing and stay strong. When this card appears, don't be surprised if you receive a surge of desire for a long lost dream, one you haven't visited since childhood. Let this desire shake you up. This is all about a light, trusting, vibrant, and being aimed. Oh, we already know that part. And you know what? This all goes back to the energy of the crone. And look at that, guys. Look at that. We come full circle. We connect to our divinity at such an incredible level here. We really connect. We have enough life experience. We've seen it all at this point. We've seen death. We've seen rebirth. We've experienced many dark nights of the soul, transformations from within. We're seeing things happen without. We are connected. We are connected. And I will link this reading down below for anyone who hasn't checked it out. Well, I really think many of you that are sitting here with me today have. But you know what? I want to get one message here to see. We're going to see, because, you know, you guys didn't get to be with me when I was looking at these cards, but we got to get a message to go with this now. You guys got to be a part of the action. So, what's happening? We know where we're going. Oh, my goodness. Many cards. Many cards. Well, we know the comic. The comic. And we've gotten this message before. And this is finding the energy of the comedian when things are not going our way. We have to learn how to laugh at life. Comedy is a vibration. The desert, and this was in the reading of the comic. I will also link that reading down below. The heart, and look at that, the kiss. The heart and the kiss. And this is where we said that the vision was going to come together. And that's what this is all about. The vision. And look at that. We have the destroyer and the prayer. To the poet. Oh, that's because they wanted me to see healer. This is connected. poet fell down here, guys. Give me a second. The poet. The desert. It leaves us feeling disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it if you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again. You can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for an unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise would remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes call, surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. You're in the surreal, you're experiencing strange, unexpected visions, silence. When in the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies with you than you think. Water is very near. The desert is alive and pulsing with energy, despite the desolate appearance. Turn towards it rather than away from it. And this just reminds me that darkness has light within it we can't see. And even part 2 of the moon reading, which we're going to get to, please join me there. I know this is, like I said, a little bit long, but I really want to get out the information and skip what you feel you want to skip, listen to what you feel called to listen to. But I got to get the information out there. And you can see the light within the dark. Now we're connecting to the heart and the kiss. The home, the center, the throne. It is possible from an imaginal point of view to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of the expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. There is no in between. It is common for us to leave this archetypical center without realizing it as the world. Within its seductive twists and turns offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. The seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. This card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. Expansive, knowing, gentle clarity. So now we find our answers within the dark. To our unanswerable questions. Recall the last time your heart was touched. Soak in every detail so you can feel the heart awaken. And that is a direct message. I can feel it. That's a direct message. And it's connected to the balancing of the heart chakra. Some say there is a cave at the center of the heart. Others say it's a pool with a flowering white lotus. Imagine yourself there and draw what you see. And that's once again using our visions to create with. And understanding that that's a manifestation tool. We can use logic and plan things out and go and attack things more logically, but we can also create with our intuition, with connection to the oneness, our creative forces, and really use that energy to allow us our more tools in our toolbox to manifest. So we're really raising our vibration. And we will be doing chakra healing for soon. We're going to have some episodes and they're going to be dedicated to that, and there'll be some that are more for visualizing and clearing, and others that'll be more logical. We'll sit there and talk about, a more logical base approach. So we can attack things from both ends of the spectrum. So we stay in balance and flow. We know we're going to the kiss, the touch, the chemistry, the sex. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive with the possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue? Do they want to kiss me in return? The archetypical energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with the other, of letting in what was moments ago separate. To become one. It is risky but beautiful business. Yeah. These moments forever change us, and we will move past the solidarity. Guys, sorry, I'm thinking about the kiss and what it would feel like, and remembering the last time that I felt this way, and I'm getting lit. You gotta calm down. Okay. These moments forever change us, and we will move past the solitary self towards union and acceptance. This card suggests true intimacy is around the corner, which requires bravery and surrender. When the kiss takes a non-human form, it may be experienced as touching the sacred, hearing a whisper, or being graced by divine being. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by cold chills and an awakening of the heart. Sensual expressiveness merging inviting. Intimacy is multi-layered and requires our reflection. Revisit what you consider to be sensual, taboo, acceptable, shameful. This is accepting all pieces of ourselves to manifest. Stop putting yourself in a box. Write down the story of your first kiss. What has changed in that moment? What was changed in that moment? And this is connected to the destroyer, the prayer, and the poet. And we're going towards the energy of the healer. And I think that that's a good time to stop. And we're going to continue on getting the messages of these cards for our next reading, because I feel like this is enough for today. And I want to get to that part 2, the actual reading. Thank you guys for joining me here. I'll see you at part 2. Take care.